No, I was saying about the mindset of a womanizer. That a womanizer has no conscience about what they do. They really don't care. It's about the thrill of the hunt. It's about getting as many women into bed as humanly possible, and 90% of what womanizers do is seeing a fresh new face that they like, or that's eye candy to them and it's appealing, or that's forbidden fruit, and they'll say and do whatever humanly possible within their power, their powers of persuasion, manipulation, or worst of all, patience to get as many fresh new women into bed as humanly possible, and they don't care. They have no conscience about it whatsoever, and it's absolutely disgusting.
It's about time they fucking develop that sense of honor.
Oh, I agree. I come from a long line of womanizers. As mean as I mean, it's I come from a family of womanizers, and I'm just as capable as they are. I just make the sound mind and conscientious choice not to do it for a lot of different reasons. I have a stepdaughter and a daughter and a son, and I don't want my son to think that that's okay. I don't want my stepdaughter and my daughter to think that's okay either. So it's like, as a father of three, I can't actually do that and feel good about myself. Plus, women are people, and that's wrong. And on top of that, it's the act of that kind of intimacy is a very emotional and spiritual thing. And 9 times out of 10, um, when womanizers do that, they never really consider that it hurts them. So it's not okay. And what are the three top places that womanizers will go to prey on women? They'll go to churches, they'll go to AA meetings, and they'll go to college campuses and coffee houses where where those are three places where there are plenty of women that are naive or who are underexposed. Church girls are underexposed. They live in a very sheltered environment. They're not world savvy, and their street smarts are lacking entirely. Plus, because they've been sheltered by mommy and daddy, and they have plenty of these surrogate parental figures in a church environment to keep them safe. The one thing that they failed to teach them is how scary and how not fun the outside world is, or that not all men are middle-aged men or slightly older men are actually have their best interest at heart. They're the easiest. I mean, they're the easiest targets because they're just legal. It's not you're not committing a crime by sleeping with them. They look good. They're built like women, but they got the naive nature of a child. So which means a womanizer is going to prey on them and not really think twice about what they're doing. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if they could tell a joke to the girl and she laughs her head off, or if they're talking and she shows an honest interest in what you have to say, a womanizer can tell within 5 minutes whether or not a church girl is easy to get into bed or not. And if the guy has a roped in for about 5 to 10 minutes, then 9 times out of 10, he's trying to sleep with that girl. He does not care at all. Um, He'll usually sweet talk her parents. He'll win over her parents. He'll win over people in the church. He'll go above and beyond to put his best foot forward. But at the same time, these people really they live within the confines of a marriage. They're very sheltered. They have very sheltered, nice lives. They don't have to deal with leechy people like that in their day to day lives. So church girls are the easiest to prey on and people in churches don't really know any better. They're the easiest people for a womanizer to sucker in. Um, if I were to bring my, I mean, if I were to bring any of my relatives that are womanizers in my family to my church, I would have to handcuff them to my wrist and keep them and sit across the room away from everybody with either pepper spray or a taser on hand. Basically saying, if you once stand and smile at that girl, I will tase you. I don't care. Because unfortunately, I can't trust them not to do it. Sorry. One of them is a reformed womanizer. I mean, he never really went to the leechy depths that my other brother and my dad did, but he did his fair share of doing it, within the confines of basically sweet talking girls and winning them over. In my family, the men are very good at that. I'm just as capable as they are. I just made the conscious choice not to. Girls in AA meetings are also easier to prey on because they're just out of rehab, they're just out of detox, or they're in a position where they're on probation, they're facing long term jail sentences. They're just sober. They have brand new emotions they're not used to having because they're no longer inebriated all the time. All you gotta do, they're easy. You can talk to them, joke with them, make it seem like you're their best friend. You're trying to be you're the knight in shining armor. If you could be a knight in shining armor to a girl and come off like you're an alternate version of Tony Robbins, then you could very easily sucker a woman into bed in every way, shape, and form if you're a womanizer. This is where these guys' mindsets are at. They don't care. They never really consider that what you're doing is a legal form of molestation, or you're basically manipulating that girl who doesn't need to get laid. She needs to get sober and needs structure in her life. These guys have no conscience whatsoever.
If you're interested.
And girls on college campuses, they're legal. They're book smart, but they're not. But their street smarts absolutely suck. They don't know any better. They're easy to talk to. All you gotta do is come off like you like the same music as them. You're hip. You're cool. You're smart. If you look younger than you really are, then you can simply lie about your age and fake it. Eventually, what happens is you can sucker those girls into bed again and again and again and again. Or if you are older and you're all open and honest about it, if you seem to have a very interesting life, or you have a bunch of things to talk about that seem interesting to a college girl, then you can sit there and talk her into doing a lot of different things. Most womanizers will shy away from people who have a wingman or a wingwoman, a slightly older girl or woman nearby to keep the guy at bay. I've talked to a lot of girls where I wasn't even trying to do what my family has done. I was just being honest. But I thought it was kind of like a sigh of relief when they had a guy best friend or a female best friend nearby to kind of sit there and kind of me mugging me, eyeballing me, and really, honestly, it's more of a sigh of relief when I see that, because that's a way of saying, I'm on to you, I don't like you, I don't want you preying on her, you're not going to use her for sex, not in any way, shape, or form. Most womanizers will sit there and if you go to a church where there's a group of people who know better, or there's at least one or two people who are onto the guy, who don't trust him, who are jerks to them, every way, shape, and form. A womanizer is going to simply take that as a sign of, okay, maybe I should kind of cool it down and move on. Either A, they'll change, or B, they'll just simply go to another church and find elsewhere to do it. A womanizer in a church most likely to be married. He'll be older. He won't have a full set of gray hairs. He won't be wrinkly yet, but he'll be older and charming and mature. He'll be a snappy dresser. He'll have everything that a woman likes, and he'll be able to tell her whatever she wants to hear. The main problem that people in churches never look out for, and that's very easy. It's very easy for them to get around. Is that they never consider that Nobody should ever be charming at church.
Is that you?
Church is not where you go to be charming. What do you think? Do you think anyone should ever put on the charm when you're worshiping God?
He ran off saying he was going to expose
It has no business doing
adventurers again.
that person. That womanizer has no business doing that during a religious ceremony.
I agree. Before and after, or within the confines of that
Before,
environment.
after, and during.
Yeah.
You're a nice grown-up we can trust.
What about an AA meeting?
They don't belong there.
Right.
I just can't wipe the smile off my face.
What about a college campus or a coffee house where the college girls are at? What I just explained.
Describe how stupid.
Womanizers should be banned from places like that.
Oh, I agree. But at the same time, I mean, those are the three top places that womanizers will go to prey on those sort of people. Like I said, I discovered a long time ago that I could, but I just made the self-conscious choice not to, because I could never do that and by good conscience alone and actually live with myself. I couldn't. I couldn't actually sit there and act out that sort of behavior and be okay with me. I've seen my father my father do it. I've seen two of my brothers do it. Well, the one brother, he's not his kids, and he met the right girl, but I'm not going to go into details and kind of run his name through the dirt or anything like that. My other brother, my relatives who were womanizers, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they were wrong in what they did, but I'm not going to sit there and air out their dirty laundry like that. But I'm going to say that I do come from a family of womanizers. I just made the subconscious choice not to. I know the mindset, I know the skills, I know the tactics that could be used. Because of that, because it's a learned behavior trait that I was exposed to, I just know enough to know what to watch out for and to keep an eye out for. 9 times out of 10, I'm the guy in all three places that you listen to, that you should listen to when I tell you, dude, that guy's a pig. You need to watch out. Why? Because I know. I'm related to that, and it's hard. It's embarrassing. Do I take on other people's shit and take on the burden of guilt of what they did? No, because I have nothing to feel guilty about, because I didn't repeat the same behaviors they did. I just know what to watch out for, and I can spot it and smell it a mile away. So yeah, that's the general mindset of a womanizer. It's about, the thrill of the hunt and conquering as many women intimately for sexual intercourse as humanly possible. And do they consider the damage they've done? Not really. Is it a thought in the front of their mind? Not quite. All they know is that their hormones are raging, and it's the thrill of the hunt and the mindset of, ooh, look at that. It's the problem is that this happens all the time, but nobody ever considers womanizing as wrong. There's two types of women. There's many classifications, but that'll be in a different video. What do I personally do? How am I personally take toward women? I'm nice, but I'm not too nice. In all three places, there's a certain boundary, a line I draw in the sand. Not literally in the sand, but there's a certain line I draw for myself that I don't cross. I keep the thought of that in the front of my mind to keep myself from doing what my relatives have done, from repeating the same stupid behaviors. I won't do it. I also remind myself that there's no place for being charming in a church. If anybody is trying to act like Tony Robbins in an AA meeting, they're trying to get laid. If anybody, the reality is, like, somebody should tell them, dude, you're a drunk and a fuck up. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing? Stop trying to act like Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins has been a great motivational speaker, and one of the greatest thing for helping people achieve the personal power. But at the same time, womanizers and leadership guys like that have used his tactics in places like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous meetings who are taking advantage of people in a very drastic and unhealthy way.
Still, you don't seem like
9 times out of 10,
every time I get close, a band of those
a womanizer will see a guy like me, will hear me talk at an AA meeting, and they'll go out of their way to run my name to the dirt or to discredit a person like me, and they do anything imaginable to shut that person up so that that person cannot get in the way of them conquering as many of those women as possible.
Tally-ho! Here they come!
At a church, a person like me, they'll go out of their way to sit there and say, to play dumb, and they'll play coy, and they'll say, I don't understand, why don't you like me? What did I ever do to you? The best thing I can tell anybody like me is to stick to your guns. Stick to your guns, never sit there, never give up on what it was. Never actually give in, to what other people are asking you to do. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be people around you who are very naive, who don't know any better, or just simply don't care. There's nothing wrong with having a conscience and saying, you know what? Situations of naive behavior like this is what created Harvey Weinstein. Behavior like this is what created guys like Jimmy Savile in Britain. Behavior like that is what creates monsters like that. Society tolerating that sort of disgusting behavior and allowing it to continue.
But I do fancy.
It's true. I personally, like I said, I'm nice to people, but I'm nice to a certain degree where I keep a certain level of boundary. I'll converse. I'll show an honest interest in oh, okay, how's school going? Or what's going on? Oh, that's awesome. But I don't. I'm not. I mean, oh, that's how. Yeah, that's nice. I'll only compliment them on special occasions, like they're wearing a nice outfit for Christmas, or that's about it.
Why?
I shake hands. I don't hug. In fact, I'm not a very huggy kind of guy because of that. I just like to keep a certain level of boundary. Period. What prevents me from repeating that is keeping the thought in the front of my mind that if I'm not careful, I could fall into doing that. And I could sleep easy at nighttime knowing that I did not act in that fashion. I disgusted you by everything you just heard, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's the reaction I was hoping for. I'm hoping that women who should know what to look out for. I hope they're disgusted by all the crap, all the leechy things I exposed. I'm hoping that some good could come out of it. I'm not expecting good to come out of it, but hey, if people watch us and learn from it, more power to you.